So the stock right now has been following the market around for the last week. There was a couple of momentary exceptions to that, but not much. We now seem to have built this floor at $400. It seems to be a really strong floor. Do you think, though, that Tesla will just continue to play follow the leader until we get that catalyst?
Um, so I'm not the greatest stock prognosticator. I agree with you on the $400 strength. I know there's a magical gap between 350 and 360. I think something, fairly bad would have to happen, but uh, it's not like Tesla hasn't fallen 20 to $30 in a couple of sessions in a row, and like that whole meme of the guy with the noose around his neck and he's looking over, he's on the pirate ship. It's like, is this your first time? And the answer for long-term Tesla investors is no. I think the question is where else could your money be?
Mhm.
And that's always the question. But quite frankly, nobody is converting AI into useful product the
Yeah.
way Tesla is. And I think with version 14, and I think a lot of bulls have also, including me, have been ahead of this, because every release that comes out, we think it's the greatest thing ever. Because it is.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's better than what we were testing before. So we have an inherent bias, but to new consumers that have never been in a driverless vehicle or never been behind the wheel, it was not good enough.
Yeah.
And because you don't want to expose somebody who hasn't been on version 9, 10, 11, and 12 and knows how to supervise a vehicle, you don't want to expose them to some of the things we saw in version 12 and 13. So we have this implicit bias issue. And by the way, I've seen this in my days of leading quality of running user trials. We call them user trials. We call them dog fooding. Do the dogs eat their own dog food? And when we run this internal testing, we do have to figure out how to filter through this implicit bias of like, I've been testing this product since it was an early prototype. And of course it's better than it's ever been before because we just built it
Yeah.
and we just put this new software in. But is it good enough? And and I think Elon and Ashok and their teams have had a very pragmatic approach to this. On the one hand, you're putting a 2.5 ton robot beta out in the marketplace, but you're telling people what they have to do in terms of supervising it. But I think it was a brilliant move because A, they have tremendous amounts of data, but B, they have a population that could be hundreds of thousands, if not up to 1 million people that are now willing to sign on the dotted line for this service. So anyway, the 350, what's gonna trigger a move down or up? Obviously, if there were some really bad macro news, really bad,
Of course.
and like for example, the job market
Right.
has shattered. I think that would be an issue. I think this rate cut coming up, I think they're going to cut, but I think up until the day you're going to have this indecisiveness back and forth. And what's been actually hurting the market, I think the last week is that cut going from whatever 75% certainty to 50 to I think it went to 35 or
Exactly.
something this morning. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, these darn Fed speakers keep coming out and giving speeches, and you have to
Even the
try to figure out.
non-voting ones.
Yeah, even the non-voting ones.
Like I'm like, you and I can go out there, Randy. We're non-voting too.
The future is here. The singularity is coming. Grab your copy today, available now on Amazon in Kindle, print, or Audible. Unlock the future one page at a time. What will you build tomorrow?